Sueño Americano, American Dream by El Tri. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez. Juan?
We turn now to a piece of legislation that many undocumented youth activists say could be a ticket to their dreams. It's called the DREAM Act, or the Development, Relief, and Education for Alien Minors Act, co-sponsored by Senators Dick Durbin of Illinois and Richard Lugar of Indiana. The bill would allow undocumented young people a chance at citizenship, provided they meet certain conditions related to age, residency, and level of education. They would have to attend college for at least 2 years or enlist in the military. After graduating from college or completing their military service, the bill would allow them to obtain permanent residency with a chance to apply for U.S. citizenship. If passed, the bill could immediately affect the lives of some 700,000 undocumented young people. On Capitol Hill, the bill is supported by a number of key Democrats, but its supporters are divided over whether or not to link the DREAM Act to broader legislation around comprehensive immigration reform. Back when President Obama was on the campaign trail at a debate with Hillary Clinton over 2 years ago, he outlined his support for passing the DREAM Act.
Something that we can do immediately that I think is very important is to pass the DREAM Act, which allows children who, through no fault of their own, are here but have essentially grown up as Americans, allow them the opportunity for higher education. I do not want two classes of citizens in this country. I want everybody to prosper. That's going to be a top priority.
It's been described as a dream come true for undocumented youth wanting a chance to stay in this country without the fear of deportation, but not everyone supports the rights of undocumented youth, is happy about the proposed legislation. Many anti-war activists warn the bill will simply funnel more young people into the military. This is UC San Diego professor and anti-militarism advocate Jorge Mariscal.
What one has to realize about the DREAM Act is that the military option wasn't attached. The military option was there at the beginning. The Pentagon helped write the DREAM Act. Well, that's what people have to realize.
That clip excerpted from the report Yo Soy al Army by Marco Amador and Curas Ismaili of Big Noise Films. Well, today we host a debate on the DREAM Act. Camilo's still with us, Camilo Mejía of Iraq Veterans Against a War. He opposes the DREAM Act. Also joining us from Miami, we are with pro-DREAM activist Gaby Pacheco. She's 25 years old, student who came to this country from Ecuador when she was 7. Earlier this year, she, along with 3 other students, took a 4-month-long walk from Miami to Washington, D.C., talking to people about their experience of growing up undocumented and urging the president to stop deportations. They call their walk the Trail of Dreams. We welcome you both to Democracy Now! Gaby, let's begin with you. Why do you support the DREAM Act?
Good morning, Amy. Well, I think that fundamentally when we look at the DREAM Act, it just gives opportunity for young people like myself and thousands of other young people throughout the nation to have an opportunity, a pathway to be able to become a legal permanent resident. And, you know, this legislation has been since 2001 up for debate, and unfortunately, we've been waiting for almost 10 years and nothing has happened. I agree and I support the DREAM Act because for many, many years, many students, 65,000 every year, graduate and aren't able to fulfill their dreams. The DREAM Act is going to give them an opportunity and a pathway to fulfill their dreams.
Gabriela, can you tell us a little bit about your personal experience and how it would affect you directly?
Yes. Well, I came to the United States when I was a young child. My parents brought me here. I grew up as an American. I went to elementary school, middle school, and high school. And my aspirations have always been to be able to go to college and receive an education and become a musical therapist. Unfortunately, because of my status, I wasn't able to do so. I did have the opportunity to go to college, and I've graduated with 3 degrees. I have a bachelor's in special education. But unfortunately, because I don't have a legal status as a resident, I'm not able to go to school I'm not able to work and become a teacher and contribute to the society and this community, which I love.
Camilo, why are you opposed to the DREAM Act?
First of all, Amy, I want to say that I commend all the people who are working for justice for undocumented youth and everybody else who wishes to attend higher education institutions in the United States. My main problem with the DREAM Act is the military portion of it, which in my opinion is the main portion of the DREAM Act, because when you look at the 65,000 youth who graduate from high school every year in this country, you have to take into account that the vast majority of them are not going to have the English level required to gain access into a higher education institution. The military has an answer for that. The military has a language institute. The military can say, if you don't speak a word of English, you can join the military. The DREAM Act also does not allow undocumented youth who have applied to the DREAM Act and who qualify for the DREAM Act to get Pell Grants or to get any kind of federal-based scholarships, only loans and work study, which is not sufficient to cover tuition. The military has the Montgomery GI Bill. The military, through the National Guard and the reserves, has tuition waivers. The DREAM Act does not include anything along the lines of financial stability, anything along the lines of healthcare, anything along the lines of housing, whereas the military has all of these things that is in a position to offer to the vast majority of the 65,000 students who graduate every year, to say, come over here, we will teach you English, we will give you housing, we will give you a steady paycheck, we will give you all these things if you serve in the military. The 2-year option to serve in the military is also not a 2-year option, because any military contract is 8 years, no less than 8 years. Whether it be a combination of 2 years of active service and 8 years in the reserves, or 4 each, or 3 and 5, it doesn't matter. It's always 8 years, and people are always subject to stop loss. On top of that, the DREAM Act does not grant residency. It grants conditional temporary residency, which means that at any given point between the time that the person applies for the DREAM Act, there's a period of 6 years when this person is not even eligible to apply for permanent residency and is subjected to be deported just like any other undocumented immigrant here. In the case of people in the military, you have people going to Iraq or Afghanistan, coming back with post-traumatic stress disorder and getting into all kinds of trouble because they find a hard time to readjust to society. They get into drug-related problems, which is one of the offenses through which a person can be deported. Moral turpitude problems are very common with undocumented people, because this could be something as simple as using a fake ID or a fake social security number to be able to obtain work. So here you have the possibility of a person who is undocumented, graduates from high school in the United States, and does not have the ability to go to college, to be funneled into the military, serve in Iraq, come back possibly with amputations, possibly with post-traumatic stress disorder, come into the United States, not be a legal resident still, and commit a minor crime, drug-related offense, forgery, or whatever else that's considered moral turpitude or deportable violation. And after serving in Iraq, after having gone through all of that hell, come back here and still be deported. It gives the government the opportunity to take a pool of 65,000 kids who graduated high school in this country, to send them into the military, and upon their return still have the ability to very likely deport them. It's a very draconian bill.
Camilo, let me bring in Gabriela Pacheco. What your response to this might be, while it's understandable your hopes and dreams about the DREAM Act, that it may be a way for the military to replenish its forces with Latino youth or with other immigrant youth.
Yes. Well, recently, the migration policy report just came out saying that there is a large majority of undocumented youth that have applied for colleges and universities. In 2006, California alone had almost 2,000 students that were, even though undocumented, in college. The college provision in the DREAM Act says that you have the opportunity to choose to either be able to go to the military or go to the college. And college is for 2 years only. I believe that a lot lot of the students that are graduating from high school, their desire is to go to college, and it's what's being proven right now. We have many undocumented youth, not only with associate's degrees, but bachelor's degrees and master's and PhD's degrees. And this is just, an opportunity for the students to be able to fulfill their dreams. And as far as the military, I think that that's an option. And I think that it's up to us, the community, and the people that are, the activists, to tell these young people that are graduating every year, 65,000 of them, like Camilo said, kids, to tell them there's options, to tell them that, if they stick to college for 2 years, and it doesn't say that you have to go to the university or the college for the 2 years back to back. It says that in the 6 years that you are with your conditional residency, you have the opportunity to fulfill and finish those 2 years. At the same time, the DREAM Act, with the conditional residency, you are going to be able to work. Students might be able to find ways to cost and pay for their college and university. As well, you are at risk even if you are a legal permanent resident for deportation. So the 6 years of provision would allow for the student to at least have some sort of status and have an opportunity to, those 6 years, find a pathway. And at the end, after they finish their 2 years of college, be able to become a legal permanent resident.
Let me play to young people, undocumented youth, there for and against the DREAM Act. This is Rishi Singh, who opposes the DREAM Act. He works with or Desi's Rising Up and Moving in New York.
Being undocumented, you don't really get the same amount of rights as other students.